Hello and welcome to another review by DWC, and this one is the very newest BF109E4 or B Jabo of Oberleutnant Walter Rupp of 3 JG53, and this aircraft first landed at RAF Manston on the 17th of October 1940, so in around the same time as the most recent Dornier, and this was part of the Battle Britain range from last summer. Representing one of 4 aircraft, including a Snooker, Spitfire, and of course Billy Fisk's Hawker Hurricane. So let's get into it. It's a bit different. This one comes with a bomb, but we'll have a little look at it and talk about its history. So here we are. Shows a little bit of detail on the Battle of Britain motive there in the top right corner. So like I say, it's one of 4 aircraft released, and this one's very, very different in the sense that it comes with a bomb, something that's never been represented before in the Battle of Britain range. Anyhow, I've got another review to do with a bombed up Me109, but this is number 136 of a limited edition run of 1,000 aircraft, and of course comes with the art on the front and a little bit of detail around the aircraft and its history and its markings. And of course in the crate this is slightly different, so I'm going to open this up here so we take the clamshell off. Off it comes really nicely. Whoops, there goes the thing. So if you might notice that there is actually in this bag here you'll see a number of different flap options. So the up flap options are fitted as is, including the up undercarriage, and there's also a down flap option which I'll display the aircraft in both forms. So I'll put one in the up position, one in the down position, so you can have a little look. Let's get her out on a stand and you can have a little look up. So here she is out on the stand with the up undercarriage option in, and the standard flaps as it comes fitted. The paint finish is really, really good. I'll do a little bit of history of why that red band is there in a minute. But one thing you'll notice is this, I don't know if we can call it mottling. It is relatively accurate to the original aircraft, but it just looks a bit mass produced, if you know what I mean. So this is a new mould, the Me109E. It was retooled probably about 7 or 8 years ago now, and I think this is the 7th or 8th release. Looking at the number, which is, bear with me folks, trying to find the AA number on the side here. I can't seem to find it right now, so I'll have a little look for that in a minute, but I think it's the 7th or 8th release. And they've all been really well received, because the previous 109 was obviously a real pain in the arse to get its undercarriage in, and this is a huge improvement. Hopefully you'll see that in a minute. But when they retooled it, obviously added the flap options, and had a look as well at the joins and stuff like that, and it is really, really nice looking aircraft. The props obviously nice and tight as well, so you don't get any prop droop. But one of the other faults of the mould was this new style cradle, which the P40 has to wear as well when it's doing stuff. So that's caused a lot of meh, I should say, from the collectorate. But overall it's a really nice looking scheme. The colours are bang on. I really like the colours. I like the stenciling on there in terms of the walkway lines and the other mini stencils. Just that bit there below the cockpit, I'll show the other side as well, which is much plainer. It just looks a bit, I don't know, it just looks a bit naff for me. I love that colour blue, just looks spot on. It's got that Bouchon-y feel. But let's get her on her undercarriage and we'll talk a little bit of history about the aircraft itself. So here she is on her undercarriage, and with her flaps down option, look at that, it's solid on its undercarriage, although I'm still gingerly moving it around. I guess that's years of moving Messerschmitts around. So one thing I would just add, when you are fitting and taking out the flaps, just be careful not to lean on the cannon. Really easy to put your thumb on the cannon as you're trying to push them in. There's 2 little slits. It's really easy to do, but just don't be clumsy like me. And for once, the up undercarriage come out lovely. It's got 2 little tags on it. You just literally just tap it and it comes out nicely. So a little bit of history around the aircraft. So this type of Me109 was arguably the first ever fighter bomber, and it carried a 250-gram bomb, which I'll show you in a minute. And they delivered their weapon using the fighter's Revy gun sight, usually from a shallow dive, pretty much like a sort of shallower dive than a Stuka, really. So this aircraft took off from the 2K airfield on the 17th of October 1940 in the hands of Oberleutnant Walter Rupp, This Jabo joined around 40 other BF-109s for patrol over the English Channel, but was later attacked by RAF Spitfires over Gravesend, just over the river to me. And the Messerschmitt took a bullet strike to the radiator, and with the engine temperature rapidly rising, the pilot had no option but to look for a suitable field to bring this aircraft down in, and that field proved to be on the outskirts of RAF Manston, right on the tip of Kent, with the pilot managing to perform a textbook emergency landing with the aircraft only sustaining superficial damage. Rapp was immediately taken prisoner and his aircraft subsequently recovered and taken to RAE Farnborough for evaluation, but was later placed on public displays of war prize in several locations around Britain. So this one had the red stripe on it, and this was basically in a bit of a up yours to Mr. Goering, who called them cowards. So he made them wear the red stripe on the front of their nose because obviously as a fighter pilots they wanted the absolute sort of advantage of height, and he then brought them obviously closer down to the bombers, which then had led to sustained loss of the fighters. And you know, obviously they've had to do different tasks, you know, as the Battle of Britain wore off, and of course it's ended really by October and the Blitz has begun. So it was used in a different role for sort of finding targets of opportunity, mainly airfields on the sort of tip of the channel. But of course, carrying that big bomb around, they didn't really have much option if they were jumped on by Spitfires or Hurricanes, so they had to jettison it and get rid of it pretty quick in order to gain some height and speed in order to put up a fair fight, we should say. But I think it's a decent release. It sold really well by all accounts as well, so it's sold its 1,000 run out. But it's just, I guess, the finesse piece of it, which Corgi sometimes let himself down with. But we've got some real successes coming up. I've ordered the new Beaufighter, which has been a huge success and looks fantastic. So that'll be joining the channel relatively soon. So I guess this is the mediocre Corgi. This isn't the bad Corgi. This is the mediocre one, where they've got to find a way to do this modelling and make it more effective and more realistic. And there was a period when they released some fantastic Focke-Wulf 190s in the late 2000s, when modelling was getting absolutely bang on, and it seems to have gone backwards, which is mental considering the sort of advances in technology, especially in paint finishes and factories. I mean, look at Knowles B58 being the prime example. But I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you found it useful. As always, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please give us a subscribe, because it will really help the channel grow and spread that message, and we get more models into review. But keep an eye out as well for the 360 video, which I'll do shortly, and add the following day after the full review. Thanks for watching. Take care.